Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, thanks for watching Spitter Swallow Beer Shagdog. No jammer. And today I'm doing the Sour Peach by Sloop Brewing. Um, it's an 87 up beer, I advocate. It's a Berliner Weiss, 4.3% ABV. Sloop Brewing, I did one of these a couple of months ago, I believe, by them. Not this, but a different beer. Elizaville, New York. I'm sure that's probably Long Island, New York City area. I'm not sure. This beer is Sloop Brewing's Artistic Ale. The sour peach complex flavors come from a natural sour culture. This tart flavor is woven with sweet peach nectar to provide your palate with a contrastingly balanced beer. It's light in body and stands at 4.3% by volume. One theory holds that Berliner Weiss style ale originated from the Huguenots, passing through the Flanders region of Belgium on their way to Germany. Later, the Huguenots established a community in New Paltz, New York, which is just across the Hudson River from Sloop Brewery. This is our interpretation of their beer. So there you go. Sorry it took so long to get back on. If you're watching live earlier, I had a little computer internet issues as usual. Yeah, so I'm not a big. I mean, it said sour. Sour, but okay, let's try it. Get some of that juice out. Nice little fizzy head. Not little by any means. That's what she said, right? Three finger head going. It's fizzing. It's fizzing. Not a can, anything special. Sloop. It's got a peach. The sour peach. Berliner Weiss style sour ale brewed with peaches. So it's basically a Berliner Weiss sour style with peaches. All right, there's a little label thing on the back. You can see it through the screen. It's like a little mountain with a, I think that's what it's supposed to be like. A mountain? I don't know what the hell it's supposed to be. Compass. Sloop Brewing, if you're watching, you let us know. Let us know what that little, I mean, I'm sure that's your logo, but I can't tell if that's like supposed to be a mountain or, I don't know what that's supposed to be. Anyhow. All right. Wow. All right, so the head's gone. Still fizzing a little bit of a sound there, but definitely has some floaties in it. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be there or. I mean, I bought the beer in May, but I never. I got to start checking these dates when I buy these things. I can't even read that shit. What the hell does it say? For December. I can't read that shit. Can't read it at all. So who knows if it's old? It does have some white floaties in there, so I'm going to think it might be a little old. According to the Jammer Pan, it's protein. I hope it's actual real protein from the beer and not from somewhere else. All right, let's go to. Oh, look! Besides the floaties in there, white floaties. Man, we got a lot of beers lately with floaties in there. Uh, just a peachy looking thing with white floaties in it that don't look too good. They're white chunky floaties. You probably can't see them, but they're not like really, it's not overloaded with it, but probably, shit, can't see them now. They're probably sunk or went to the other side of the glass. There's a couple. We'll be all right, right? We hope so. All right, this might be my last one. I have one more beer to do after this one, but I'm like, I've been up since 8 o'clock last night. It's now 1:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, so Snap, it does have a peach smell in there. Almost has like a peach, almost like a peach schnapps, that type of peach. You know, not as strong or alcoholic as a peach schnapps, but a little bit of that peach smell, which is pretty cool. A little bit, not full flavor peach smell like a peach schnapps, but a little bit peach smell like a peach schnapps. Probably about 1/3 of the power of a peach schnapps smell. All right, yeah, it smells like peach. Maybe a little weed in there, sour, maybe a little bit. Let's try it. Cheers. Get those white chunks down my mouth. A little sour. At the front end, it does almost have like a peach schnapps type taste. You know, not as strong because the peach schnapps is what, like 40 proof or something, so it'd be like 20% ABV. Nothing like that as far as the alcohol taste. It doesn't have the orange or a peach schnapps doesn't have orange in it. It's just peach schnapps. You mix it with orange juice, that's fuzzy there. Okay. I guess if you water down the peach schnapps with orange juice, but take out the orange juice. So basically, peach schnapps with water, I guess, would be a better thing, yeah. Or maybe some slight sour type stuff. I don't know. It's not too bad actually. I wish it was a little fresher since I got white chunks floating around. Hate that shit because I'm like, is that shit good for you? Is it gonna clog my heart? What's it gonna do? The hell is Clone High? Mm, not bad. It almost has like a peach schnapps. It tastes very, very watered down of a peach schnapps. A little bit of a sour to it. Maybe if you got the sour of an orange juice, but you don't taste the actual orange. Just a little bit of that sourness. Yeah. I don't know how else to explain it. The wheat itself, maybe a little bit there in the middle part of it. It's just an easy drinking peach sour beer. It's not super sour. It's not super peachy, and it's not super weedy. So super weedy. Have you had your Wheaties today? Yeah. Uh, I wish I knew the date on this one because I don't like graded beers that are because maybe it's better if it was fresher. Maybe it's like a year old for all I know. It's light ABV. It's 4.3. Like 4.3. It's not bad. I give it for what it is. It's not. I like a little bit more oomph with it, at least with the peach or the sour. I don't like sour too much, so at least the peach. Maybe a little bit more wheat. Just I'm not a big wheat fan either, but maybe just a teeny weeny bit more wheat taste on there. But it's not bad overall. I'll give it a straight up B. Straight up B and a swallow. Yeah, there you have it. You heard it first here at the Spitter Swallow Beer Review. All right. Well, I guess I'm talking myself. Man, I'd like to thank all of our subscribers that joined a couple months ago. They were watching us in the afternoon, especially Tuesday afternoon. I just can't get any of my buddies on anymore. I don't know what happened. I guess they got bored with us. That's okay. That's why I go live. A little bit of interaction is pretty cool. But you know what? The best part of not going live is sometimes you get interaction going on before you know it. The end video is 45 minutes to an hour. And I was going to actually record these videos so I could edit a little bit out, if it goes 20 minutes. 25 minutes, I could take it 2 minutes or 4 minutes out. But I decided to go live instead. I could still edit them, but usually once you go live, it's on there. You might as well just leave it on there, leave it alone, right? I don't want January to be upset if he wakes up and see I did a few reviews. He ain't gonna watch them though, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this one. I might do a couple karaoke songs and go to bed here by what time is it now? 1:30. Hopefully by 2:30. But I got to drink my whole beer before I sign off. That's how we do it. Now I try to get this picture of a friend of mine who actually she did a peach beer one time and they had a bunch of peaches in a bowl and she's like, so she posted. Wow, she didn't send it to me personally. She posted on her Facebook and she actually put a peach in the beer after she peeled it. Somehow it looks oval though. I don't know how that's possible. But yeah, I tried to get her picture in there. Told her, hey, I'm gonna put your picture in one of my beer reviews as a background picture with your peaches there in the beer. But I couldn't fit. Well, I could have put her face in there, but you could barely see the beer or couldn't see the peaches at all. It was like cutting off like right at the top of that peach. You could barely see the top of that peach when I had your face in it. So I was like, well, I got your hand and your hair and your shoulder. So anyhow, hopefully she's all right with that. Not sure what's wrong with her finger though. Looks her forefinger looks short. Maybe she's holding it like this or something. I don't know. She's yeah. Oh, oh. Anyhow, Shagdog Spinner Swallow beer review. I'm actually gonna do some karaoke after I get done with this beer review. I'm like done doing beer reviews. Gonna do some karaoke and rock it. I can't rock it like I used to. I don't know why. I used to have an actual handheld mic. Maybe that's why. This maybe I get this Blue Yeti, get it closer to me. Maybe that'll help a little bit. I'm gonna have some headsets on actually too. That's another problem with feedback from the sound on the computer too. So we'll see. Thanks to the one viewer that jumped in and jumped right out. Hey, at least you put one foot in and you put your left foot out. You put your right foot in and then you shook it all about and got the fuck out. Forget about it. Yeah. Um, yeah, Shagdog, Spitter Swallow beer review. Best damn beer review this side of the Savannah River. Um, yeah, maybe Jammer get on tomorrow night. Outdo me. Something too good today. Ugh. Yeah, it's a thing. It's hard to do beer reviews after doing a hard labor job for 9 hours. You know, 8 hours technically. I got an hour lunch, which I hate the hour lunch, but it is definitely well needed. Unpaid, so yeah, basically at work for 9 hours. For the old days, you had hard labor jobs. They would pay you for a 30-minute lunch break. So I think they should pay us for 30 minutes of that hour. I'll stay at 8.5 hours. That's fine. They won't do that. Oh shit. Yeah, I mean, I worked at a place that manufactured produced juice. They gave us a paid half-hour lunch, and this is more physically strenuous than that was working at the juice plant. Actually, I got paid no matter what. because I was an inventory clerk. But the laborers, I mean, I wasn't even supposed to get a lunch. I don't think. I don't know my type of job. I don't even know. I just took lunch for that many of them. I should have just made up my own rules because nobody knew what I was in that shift anyhow. I could just say, yeah, I got an hour lunch. Don't bother me. The inventory clerk for a certain department, but I wasn't. I answered to the boss of the juice plant, really, and the control room blender. I didn't answer to the shift foreperson or whatever she was at all. I mean, I did answer to her, but really, she wasn't even my boss. I was beyond her because I was supposed to be there to figure out why they were losing product and stuff. You know, it's kind of like a spy. Jammer was right. He said they saw me coming through with a clipboard, thought I was a spy. Well, I was technically a spy, but not on any other department except for the department I worked at to find out why they were losing so much product. Did I find out? Well, a little bit. Because they had careless employees, uh, faulty equipment, and that was basically the major parts. Faulty equipment, maintenance issues, and careless employees. Pretty much it. Now, it wasn't that it was their fault. You know, something happened when they were either filling or dumping the product into another tank, but they didn't report it at all ever. So, well, it's a whole gallon of grapefruit concentrate just went down on the floor. Oh well, somebody hose it down the drain. They didn't report shit. That's what the problem was. Accidents happen, you know. And I was there to spy, and me and one other guy were hired. Supposed to be three of us for each shift, one for each shift. Just me and one other guy, and they put me on the night shift because they think that's when it was mostly being leaked, and they put him on day shift. What about? I'm like, what about the evening shift? You know, 3 to 11. Anyhow, but supposedly the guy, the supervisor on that shift, who I'm friends with, had it all under control on that shift, so that's why. That's why they didn't have it. But anyhow, after a while, they didn't really do away with my position, but for him, he didn't want to do it anymore on day shift, so they gave him another position in the office. They didn't replace him. So now now I had to do his beginning. So I had to do a beginning inventory and an ending inventory for my shift. You know. But now, even though I had to do an inventory ending inventory for my shift, basically counted as a beginning inventory for them, but I had to take the paperwork, do a new sheet for beginning inventory. Of course, back in 98, 99, they didn't have smartphones or shit like that back then. So I had to do a beginning inventory, put it on new paper, and hand it to them. Very stupid. But I was doing it. Oh, yeah, who cares, right? Yeah. But it did give me an extra 30 minutes of overtime. So, because my shift doing it ended, basically what happened was I would do an ending inventory at the end of my shift. He would do a beginning inventory, and we would basically match numbers, make sure everything was copacetic. They still wanted me to do an ending inventory, but put the beginning inventory for the day shift on the paperwork, even though I wasn't going to count it a second time or anything, which should have been like that to begin with, you know. But I don't know. Anyhow, it didn't last long there. After they combined my job with the cold storage foreperson, they weren't giving me a raise. Those guys made like $1 more an hour than I did. Matter of fact, one of the it was me and then two cold storage four person combined. They're combining the barrel room and the cold storage. At least the warehouse is part of our jobs. But combined, like he's like, I'm not doing inventories after I set shit out and then have to send it into another department of what, you know. Where before he'd say, hey, here's 80 drums. You count them? Yeah, I got 80 drums. Okay. He didn't have to do an inventory. He just sign off. Now, he not only has to do whatever he sets out, someone to sign off, which I guess is himself, because I quit after a while, but he had to count around the barrel room area, count what they had on hand, you know. Anyhow, so he quit. Just me and one other guy. They started training some girl. Anyhow, one thing like that, we're working 12-hour shifts waiting for this girl to get trained. She quits one day. She was driving a forklift, spilled a whole line of red grape concentrate all over the place, and she just threw her inside the cold storage warehouse. She threw her cold weather protection stuff on the ground and left. I came in, I see this shit on the ground, the cold storage jacket, pants, purple shit all over it. A forklift that's kind of like bent on the top because I got some barrel at the top of it. Went all over her. I asked them, what the hell happened? Oh, we got to get some of your people to clean up inside the freezer there. Someone spilled a grape. I'm like, who did it? She goes, oh, that girl that's supposed to be the third one of you guys. And she quit. She took all of her stuff off and left. I was like, what the fuck? So now they got to train someone else. And then they want me to clean. I'm like, when did this happen? They're like 2 hours ago. I'm like, so the shit's like freezing up almost. Of course, concentrate doesn't freeze all the way through, I don't think. But anyhow, I'm like, man, nobody cleaned this up. Could have cleaned it up already 2 hours ago. So they want me to get some of my people to clean it up. I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this place. I walk right out. Actually, I told the control room blender, hey, blending the supervisor, hey, this is what I set out. Send them a little note. Hey, I set this stuff out. You got everything you need. I quit, type thing. There you go. That's how Shagdog does it. I'll do it again in my other job. I did it. How many times? Well, Jammer thinks I've done this more often than I have. I've walked out multiple jobs, but really, I only did 2 jobs where not even 2. I walked. I walked out of. Okay, I walked out of that one, and then the first time I worked for the state, I didn't really. Oh no, that time I gave notice. The second time I worked for the state, I didn't give notice. I just called up my supervisor. Hey, we're get someone up here to relieve me because I quit. But I did quit and walk out without having anything lined up. And then another time I worked before I went back to that place. I worked at the inbound call center for Verizon cell phone. The supervisor pissed me off one day. I walked out, so I quit. I told him, hey, I quit. What do you mean? I was like, man, I'm not doing this. Wait, you're not even trying. Anyhow, I was trying to do a sale, and the guy didn't want to budge. Anyhow, told the guy he wanted his wife to decide. I offered to call back because we could call back. And the guy said, oh, the guy was thinking about it, but my supervisor was like, listen, call. And he comes over, he's like, close that call. Close that call. Yelling. I'm like, dude, I'm on the phone right here. You're yelling at me? He's like, you better close that call. I mean, it's like my second week at work at this place. Second week on the floor. We did 4 weeks of training, but and I don't know if this guy on the phone could hear him, but he sounded like he could hear him. Anyhow, so the guy said, yeah, I'll find that line later, something. He goes, you could have told that call. I was like, dude, I almost was going to be able to call this guy back. And you're sitting here screaming at me. I was pissed. I was hot. I didn't say that calm. And then I got off the call. I went on, put my phone on hold or wrap up or whatever. I was like, man, I'm going to smoke. This guy just pissed me the hell off. I was about to knock him out and get in my face like that. Called my girlfriend and said, hey, I'm going to quit now or I'm going to knock this guy out. One or the other, get fired. So I quit. I had the state job lined up, but unbeknownst to me, it took a little longer than I thought to get back in. Like that was October, I think. It took 2 more months to get back in there. Longer than I thought. Anyhow, so I didn't really, kind of walked out of that one without anything lined up. Walked out of the state job once without anything lined up. Actually, the first time I walked out of the state job, I didn't have anything lined up either because, I just, hell with it. I took a year off, cashed out my retirement, took 14 months off. Not too smart. So that's 3 times there. So wait, juice plant. Pretty much, I gave a 2-week notice, but I walked out without having anything lined up to take 14 months off. The call center, inbound, quit, walked out. And then the second time I worked for the state, walked out after telling the supervisor you better get somebody to relieve me. Now, if I think even further back, I didn't really walk out of the job. I didn't plan on quitting. I technically got fired, actually. It was a crappy dishwashing job when I was like 17 years old. And one night I got there, there were supposed to be 5 of us there, and there was only 2 of us, and I was like, hell with this. I busted my ass all night long until 4 in the morning. So I left, and then I came back to check the schedule, and I was off the schedule. I was like, oh shit, I guess they fired me. I picked up my last check. I worked at 1 hour today. I walked out. It was a weekly check, so that was the first day of the week that I worked. And I got a check because minimum wage at that time, Pennsylvania was $4.25 an hour. And I worked for an hour, something like that. And after taxes and $2 I gave the United Way out, I got like a check for 70 cents or 75 cents. Pretty cool. Yeah. Now here I am babbling about Shagdog and the stories. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking about. The drinking and thinking videos we do, we just sit there and drink and talk about whatever. They kind of suck because they're not planned. We just think of something on the spot. Hey, well, drink and think, what do you want to talk about? And most times they suck. Now, when I planned a couple of them out, especially when I did solo, they did all right. I got a couple pictures lined up. Hey, yeah, top 10, whatever, and threw a picture up. I did that like once or twice, but I didn't do it live. I edited it. So I'm gonna do something like that. Then I got a special drinking and thinking video for the end of the year. I'm working on that one starting to work on it this week. And it's a progressive one for the whole year of 2023. So it'll go all the way up to like beginning of December, middle of December. And then I have another great drinking and thinking idea where, Shagdog talks about Jerry wanted me to do a book one time on, drunken adventures of Shagdog or whatever, but I think it started off slow from the beginning when I was in the Army. Not even drunken, just like crazy things that happen, not even crazy, some funny, probably some boring stuff that I think's funny, but for instance, well, you know what? I'm going to save that for a drinking and thinking video. Yeah, I'm going to do a different video for every little thing that happened in basic training. Charlie Company 239. Yeah. All right, well, I can down this beer. 29 minutes. This is my longest one of the day. Oh. Oh, Shagdog. Scooter Swallow Beer Review. Off to karaoke. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, comment. Look forward to those videos. I got to work on them. Drinking and thinking videos are going to be great. I probably could share some pictures from basic training and AIT. I got some of those too. I don't know if I should show some of those because a little bit of fraternization going on, I think, in some of those pictures, but oh well. Probably get people be hunting me down and like, why can you show pictures of me? Those girls with arms around me. My wife's like going crazy. Yeah, well, shouldn't have been letting women have their arms around you and let someone take pictures. Welcome to the internet, my friend. A little unbeknownst to them back in 1991, huh? Actually, one particular drill sergeant I had, basically a little story on that is when I was in AIT at Fort Jackson, we went to Myrtle Beach one day, Fort Jackson, South Carolina, Columbia. We went to Myrtle Beach one day, the whole company. It was just a company. So when we get there, somebody in my unit took pictures. Anyhow, the senior drill sergeant, a bunch of drill sergeants, all the girls, got to wear civilian clothes, they're Myrtle Beach. A couple of the girls are at a bar or whatever, Myrtle Beach. They got their arms around the senior drill sergeant, a couple other drill sergeants. Well, there's one particular drill sergeant. He wasn't my platoon drill sergeant, he was one of the other platoons, but years later, I'm stationed overseas in Panama. And somebody said, oh, we're getting a new sergeant into our unit, my department where I worked. Hey, he's coming from Fort Jackson. I guess he's a drill sergeant. I'm like, really? What's his name? And I said, drill sergeant. I won't say his name right now, but I was like, wow, I had a drill sergeant. That's an unusual name. And that's was one of my drill sergeants. And, and it was actually him that showed up. And then I said, hey, I was when you were at Fort Jackson. And I showed him pictures of the Myrtle Beach trip. And he's like, oh my God, don't show those to my wife when she gets here. But yeah, but I'm going to show them next week online. Drinking and thinking, Spinner Swallow Beer Review, Shagdog's Basic Training and AIT Adventures. All right, well, that'll do it for this one. Shagdog, Spinner Swallow Beer Review. We will see you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share. And we'll see you then.